Larry Brown is one of the NBA's most successful coaches. He is driven to create the perfect team. He has handpicked each member of his San Antonio Spurs. In David Robinson, he has the player many consider to be the most valuable in the league. But do these Spurs have the maturity needed to reach perfection in the playoffs? Warriors coach Don Nelson is considered one of the finest tacticians of the NBA, and his X's and O's are named Run TMC. Chris Mullin, Tim Hardaway, and Mitch Richmond. Together, they make up the most explosive threesome in basketball. This past Thursday night in Game 1 of their playoff, both teams exploded in a game filled with physical pyrotechnics. With David Robinson in early foul trouble, Willie Anderson rose to the occasion, scoring a career-high 38 points. Later, the Admiral returned to add 30 points of his own. And so now, the Warriors must try again as the playoffs continue in Mr. Robinson's neighborhood.
Ready to rotate up. You ready to rotate up?
Michael at the foul line. A shot on the air.
This is the NBA on NBC. The 1991 NBA playoffs. Today, it's the Golden State Warriors versus the San Antonio Spurs.
It has been a week of celebration here in San Antonio, Texas, with Fiesta 1991 taking place in the River City. And San Antonio Spurs fans have been celebrating the victory by the home club in Game 1 of their best-of-5 playoff series on Thursday night. Hi, everybody. I'm Marv Albert, along with Mike Fratello, who has been the focal point of Fiesta Week activities, although Mike thought it was siesta. No siesta the other night, though, for the San Antonio Spurs backcourt combination of Rod Strickland and Willie Anderson. Mike, they were on fire.
Usually, David Robinson is the focal point, and he did have an outstanding game. 30 points, 13 rebounds, 8 block shots. But the two guys that made a difference for the Spurs, Willie Anderson, Rod Strickland. Anderson with 38 points, Strickland with 30 points. Combined, they shot 30 for 45 from the floor. Defensively in Game 2, the backcourt for the Warriors of Mitch Richmond, Tim Hardaway, they'll have to pay a little bit more attention to Anderson and Strickland. In fact, Hardaway mentioned to us, I've got to stop roaming around and gambling on defense and pay more attention to my man.
All right, Golden State coach Don Nelson is a man who likes to shake things up, usually very unorthodox with his matchups, but I think even Don would admit that he has gone to extremes in this series.
Well, Marv, Don Nelson has been known as an innovator, and the one thing, he's not afraid to play the style of play that gives his team the best chance of winning. We've seen a lot of different lineups in game number 1, from average height to very small with 5 guards on the floor. Again today, a new, smaller lineup for the Warriors. The Golden State philosophy in game number 1, take Robinson's man as high and far away from the basket as possible, hoping to reduce the number of shots that David Robinson would intimidate and block. The results after game 1, 45% shooting for the Warriors, 8 block shots for David Robinson, not too good. And the 4 guys that matched up against him, 0 points combined.
And once again, the Golden State Warriors figure to have their hands full with the man they call the Admiral, David Robinson, who comes off a very physical ball game. Robinson and the Spurs facing the up-and-coming Golden State Warriors when we come back.